Hello, amazing educators, and welcome back to the Teacher's Toolbox. I'm Ms. Mentor, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. If you're new to the channel, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and join our wonderful community of teachers who are all about growth, inspiration, and making a real difference in the classroom. Today, we're tackling something that's absolutely at the heart of great teaching: lesson planning. We all know that effective lessons are the key to keeping students engaged and helping them retain information. But crafting successful lesson plans can sometimes feel like a daunting task. Don't worry though. I'm here to show you how to create amazing lesson plans that not only capture your students' attention, but also maximize their learning. Ready to dive in? Let's go. All right, let's get into the good stuff. A well-designed lesson plan doesn't just tell you what to teach. It's a roadmap that guides you, your students, and your classroom experience. So whether you're a seasoned teacher or just starting out, these strategies will help you create lessons that are clear, engaging, and effective. Here are 5 key tips to help you make lesson planning a breeze. Tip number 1, start with clear learning objectives. Before you plan any activity or lecture, think about what you want your students to learn. This is the foundation of your lesson. What should they be able to do by the end of the lesson? Are they mastering a concept? Developing a skill? Understanding a key idea? Make sure your learning objectives are specific, measurable, and achievable. A good rule of thumb is to use action verbs like explain, analyze, demonstrate, or create, so that you know exactly what your students will be working toward. For example, instead of saying, students will understand the concept of photosynthesis, say, students will be able to explain the process of photosynthesis and identify its key components. Clear objectives give your students a sense of direction, and when your objectives are focused, you can create activities that are purposeful and engaging. You're building a solid foundation for the entire lesson. Next up, active learning. Gone are the days of lectures where students sit passively and just take notes. In today's classrooms, we want our students to be active participants in their learning. So, think about how you can get your students involved in the lesson through activities that get them moving, talking, creating, or experimenting. Incorporate group work, discussions, hands-on projects, or real-world problems that allow students to apply what they've learned. For example, if you're teaching a science lesson on ecosystems, you could have students work in small groups to create a model of an ecosystem and present it to the class. Or you could have them debate environmental policies to deepen their understanding. By involving students in activities that are interactive and meaningful, you're not just teaching content. You're creating an experience that sticks with them. Active learning boosts engagement, keeps students interested, and helps them retain information better. Now, let's talk about formative assessments. This is a big one. Formative assessments are small, ongoing checks for understanding that you can use throughout the lesson to see how your students are grasping the material. These assessments don't need to be formal or high stakes. They can be as simple as a quick poll, a thumbs up, thumbs down check, a think, pair, share activity, or a short quiz. Why are formative assessments important? Well, they help you identify areas where students might be struggling before the end of the lesson. If you notice that many students are confused about a concept, you can quickly adjust your teaching or provide additional support. It's all about staying responsive to your students' needs in real time. By including opportunities for formative assessment, you ensure that you're always aware of how your students are progressing. It helps you adjust on the fly and keep everyone on track. Tip number 4, differentiate your lesson. Not every student learns the same way, and a successful lesson plan takes that into account. Make sure that your lesson is accessible to all learners, whether they're struggling with the content or excelling. You can do this by providing multiple means of engagement, representation, and expression. For example, use visuals, graphic organizers, and hands-on activities for students who need more concrete support. For students who are more advanced, you can provide extension activities or ask them to explore the material in greater depth. When you differentiate, every student has the opportunity to succeed. Differentiation ensures that you're meeting your students where they are and supporting them in a way that works best for them. Finally, let's talk about the importance of reflection. After every lesson, take a moment to reflect on what worked well and what could be improved. Did your students meet the learning objectives? Were they engaged throughout? Were there any moments where things fell flat, or did some students seem confused? Use this feedback to revise and refine your lesson plans for next time. Lesson planning isn't a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process of improvement and growth. Every time you reflect on a lesson, you're getting better at meeting the needs of your students and designing more effective lessons in the future. So, to recap, here are your 5 tips for creating successful, effective lesson plans. Start with clear learning objectives that are specific and measurable. Incorporate active learning to keep students engaged and involved. Use formative assessments throughout the lesson to check for understanding. Differentiate your lesson to meet the diverse needs of all learners. Reflect and revise after each lesson to continuously improve. With these strategies, you'll be able to create lesson plans that not only maximize learning, but also make your classroom a place where students are excited to participate. And remember, lesson planning isn't just about the activities. It's about creating meaningful learning experiences that will stick with your students for the long run. I hope these tips give you some fresh ideas and inspire you to create lesson plans that truly make a difference. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Let me know your favorite lesson planning strategies or any challenges you face. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for joining me today on the Teacher's Toolbox. Keep up the incredible work in your classrooms, and I'll see you next time. Happy teaching!